Hi, I'm Regina Paul, and this is probably one of the most personal videos I've ever made for this channel. I didn't plan to be retired at 56. I didn't choose it, and honestly, I'm still figuring out what that means and how I feel about it. For a long time, I did what a lot of us do. I worked a 9-to-5 job, in my case in healthcare. I showed up, I handled responsibilities, I built a career around being dependable, capable, and useful. I worked in an administrative role in an anesthesia office. I also worked as a side hustle in publishing, and I helped other authors when I could. I wrote and published books. I created covers and graphics, videos, blog posts, and marketing content, not just for myself, but for others. That was part of my freelance and still what I do. I've worn a lot of hats. And suddenly, I found myself in a place I truly never expected to be. Not retired in the dreamy, fun sense of sitting on the beach with an iced tea and my Kindle full of books. No, more like pushed into a brand new chapter of my life with really no idea of how I was going to manage things. And that still feels really strange to admit out loud, you know. I'm still figuring it out 2 years later. You know, when you're in your 50s, people act like you should have everything figured out. Your career, your income, your retirement plan, your next moves. Well, I thought I had my next moves figured out. I had planned to retire at 62. Instead, my job retired me forcibly by eliminating my position. Life doesn't always ask for your permission before it changes the story. It just doesn't. Sometimes the rug gets pulled out from under you. Sometimes the door closes. And sometimes the version of your life that you thought you were still living, it just ends. And then you're left standing there thinking, okay, what now? And that's where I've been for the last 2 years. So I've been asking myself, what now? What do I do next? Not in a cute motivational poster way, but more like sitting up at 3 a.m. with a notebook and way too many tabs open on my computer, trying to figure it out, including my banking and retirement income tabs. How do I stop feeling like I've been discarded? Because that is what it feels like when they eliminate your job. It just feels like, we don't need you anymore. See ya. How do you stop feeling like that and start treating life as this is your next chapter? That's the part I'm trying to figure out still. It's the part I'm holding on to. It wasn't the chapter I had planned. Oh no, like I said, I was thinking 62, I'll retire, I'll have Social Security, my husband has his Social Security, and then I'll have, a rather substantial retirement fund from my job, and we'll be good, and even if we're not, like, towards, if at some point some income goes away, I have my side hustles and I have my freelance work and I can build that up. And it's work that I enjoy, so hey, no problem. And then suddenly, like I said, boom, no job anymore. And everything got moved down. It wasn't the chapter I had planned, but it's still my next chapter. So I'm restarting in a way, or reopening this YouTube channel with a little more honesty than I probably would have a few years ago. So there you have it. Forcibly retired at 56 and still figuring it out. So there'll be stories here, lots and lots of stories. Some of them will be short audio stories that I've written. Some may be excerpts from my books. Some might be book reviews. Some of the stories that I share of my own and others may be romantic, paranormal, suspenseful, magical, cozy, strange, emotional, and maybe sometimes a little dark around the edges, because my fiction in particular doesn't fit into a neat little box. Any of you that have read my books know I write across, romance subgenres, reverse harem, FF, MF, sci-fi, mystery. I mean, you name it, I've written it. Romantic suspense. I fit into all kinds of categories. And a lot of the people I read do too. So regardless, that'll be sort of the stories that are fiction, the kinds of stories you can find here. There's also going to be book talk, writing talk, and author help. So there'll still be tutorials. There'll still be discussions about how to write books and what the best ways to write books are, and things like show, don't tell, that kind of stuff will still be here. But I'll still also do tutorials on things like how to make a cover or how to edit your own book, stuff like that as well. The thing is, I've been an author for over 20 years. I've written my entire life, almost since I could pick up a pen or pencil. But I've been published for over 20 years. And I've worked with other authors and helped other authors through another company that does that, but I'm on their staff. And I've helped with promotion, editing, graphics, blogs, websites. I've created websites for authors as well as for myself, newsletters, and all the messy behind-the-scenes things that readers in particular don't necessarily know about, and sometimes that even authors don't talk about. But now I'm also learning what it means to rebuild as a creative woman over 50. Not from a place of having all the answers, because trust me, I do not have all the answers. But from a place of testing things, trying out new things, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. I can take you along with me on that journey of what works and what doesn't. Hopefully, I'll be sharing enough of that journey that someone else that's watching this channel will feel a little less alone, or will find a place to start if they've lost their job and they're over 50 and also don't have unlimited income to support themselves. I hope this channel helps with those people as well. I don't know, maybe you lost your job, got divorced, or became widowed. There's so many ways you can lose your income or lose your security. Whatever those ways are for you, I hope this channel helps you. Maybe your body, your family, your finances, your career, or your circumstances forced you into a life that you also didn't quite recognize, at least not at first. Maybe you've been looking around thinking, I'm not done. I just need a new plan. That's where I'm at. I'm not done. I'm still a writer. I'm still an artist. I'm still an intuitive, creative, stubborn, I'm definitely stubborn, person who believes that stories matter. My stories and your stories, whether they be your life stories or your fiction stories. So this video is me planting a flag. I'm here. I'm starting again. I'm rebuilding my creative life one video at a time, one story, one project, one blog post, one book, one brave little step at a time. If that sounds like something you'd like to follow, I'd love to have you here. And if you're also in a season of rebuilding, whether you're 26, 36, 56, 66, or anywhere in between, I hope this channel becomes a place where you feel encouraged, entertained, and reminded that your story isn't over. It may just be changing genres. And honestly, as an author, I kind of love that. I like that idea, just changing genres. So welcome or welcome back. I'm Regina Paul, and this is my next chapter. See you in the next one.